first stream, and should be coming online any moment. Hello, right, okay. So, we have everything sorted, we have everything jam-packed right now. Here's where we start. So, right now, I've got a bowl of crap to eat, and that's just a bowl of chilli. Literally, bowl of chilli. And that's because I forgot to really have tea, so I'm having tea now, and it's 11:30. After I've had tea, when I'm trying to have tea, I'm going to be painting this guy. And this guy is basically a Lexcorp Heavy Trooper. Now, obviously, different paint scheme. And the reason why there's a different paint scheme is because with new second edition rules, one-man gang can now take this. So I thought, you know what, I always wanted to have a proper Tin Man. I didn't want to use Mr. Freeze as the Tin Man all the time. So I thought to fit in with like the whole Wonderland theme, fairy tales and stuff, this Lexcorp Heavy Trooper will be my Tin Man. Now if we score, now obviously there's a delay in the recording, which I might have to change actually. But if we have a look, if this will focus. Yeah, as you can see, there is a hat icon on the So obviously I'm watching as it's having slow duration, but you can see the hat icon on the chest piece. Now obviously you can obviously see how thin the yellow paint is as well. I tried thickening it up, but the only thing I can really do is put a bone base coat over it, then just layer up on yellow. And that's to paint on the backside. I hate painting yellow for this exact reason, but that's what's going to happen. In addition, as you probably noticed, that the head on the Lexcorp Heavy Trooper has been filed. The files is literally for this one little piece. I green stuffed a funnel for it to make it look like the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz. So, hang on. You won't be getting the detail there. Right, let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Hang on. I'm watching a very long delay. But yeah. You can kind of see it. Just wish it would actually focus. No, it's going to focus on your hand. But yeah, once I get it all painted up and stuff like that, it will have a painted chat, I suppose. It'll have a painted... I'll take photos, put it on the Facebook page for Warp Forge. See, that's what's happening. So, how is everyone today? One viewer, hey. So I'll probably just wait until more viewers come online, or if anyone wants to talk. There's always the chat room. General chat, yeah. Well, the chat room, general chat. So, apologies for that, yeah. So, might as well just get started painting up. Well, painting up now. So, I'm just going to have a look, see what happens. Okay, so, as you can see the guy, there he is. Hello everyone, we've got new viewers. Now obviously we do have a chat, channel chat and the group chat, so channel chat and Warping Forge, that's where people should be talking, I believe. So, may as well just get started painting. Anybody wants to talk, just put a message up, because right now I'm just going to be painting. Now, I wonder. So, what colour shall I start off with? I'm going to start off with a paint. Well, we'll move that wire out the way first. And we'll start off with a bone colour paint. Boom, boom, boom. That's too desert-like. That's a bit bright. But hey, beggars can't be choosers sometimes. So, just going to water down my brush. And we're just going to start painting. Yeah. Audio feels a bit echoey. Right. Okay, that's interesting. So audio feels a bit echoey. Right. Okay, that's interesting. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Right. Oh, whoops. Okay. Hang on. What if we did that? Now, let's see what happens. Hang on. What if we did that? Now, let's see what happens. So, yep, that's beautiful. Sorry, that might pick up the monitor sound, so if that feels echoey and stuff. I think what it is it's already detected the audio, and I've just put another input for another audio, and I think that's what's happened. But we got down to the root of the cause, and we're going to do it. Hello to another viewer. Like I say, if you want to talk, please do. I've got the chat up. It's going to look beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Right. So, just going to thicken up the yellow by on the lights, on the light sources, by adding in some bone. Because, bone colours are quite light, and they can add more sources. Well, sorry, they strengthen the yellow because the yellow takes forever. And this is someone who's painted yellow jackets, stuff like prison uniforms for Blackgate prisoners and stuff like that. It just takes forever. I will try and bring in a better lamp as well, because that one's very focused and that's mostly for fine detail. So I will be rechanging that. The Batman. Yeah. Like I say, this is going to be the Tin Man. The Tin Man. Oh dear. Right. Okay. So let's try this. So just going to rewash that. Apply a bit more bone onto the palette. See, this is what happens when you thin your paints, folks. You can't really do much. There we go. Yeah, definitely takes time, trial and error. But at least we'll find the problems, we'll find the solutions, and it all sorts itself out. Oh, I'm glad I did not put any green washes on the green. At the moment, it's just base coating because I want to do it all up in layers. On the shoulder pads, I don't really want to do yellow. I'll just keep it as blue, so I'll have to repaint over because I got a bit panicky. It's like the guns. I'm not really fond of the redness because I'm not sure how to really bring it out. Oh yeah, money does fix everything. Gotta love a bit of that dosh. But yeah, OBS. But yeah, okay, so yeah, we should have these. Yep, we do have these online. Just wondering why the chat isn't coming up. That's funny. Oh well. Because I can see the chat on the Twitch thing, but for some reason it's not popping up anymore on the thingy-majig, on the actual show. Which is interesting. Very interesting, but hey, what can you do? But right, so a little bit more. A little bit more. So over the yellow areas, I'm just going to repaint over with bone, just so I can thicken this yellow up. Outside of that, how is everyone else doing? That would be very interesting to see. Right. Okay. So, a bit more bone. There it is. It's very thin because I've watered it down, and I think I might have watered it down a bit too much in some areas, but it is applying on very nicely. So, here we go. Yeah, we'll be bringing in a new lamp, though, definitely. next, probably tomorrow actually. Probably could stream as well tomorrow. Yeah, probably could. Yeah, just gotta balance it all out. Should be able to though, no problems at all. Oh, actually, I might not be. There's a Halloween party tomorrow. Oh, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be very fun indeed. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, so yeah, nothing much happening at the moment. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Right. We're just thickening up the light sources, or where the light's gonna basically shine through. Then I'll have to re-go over on the green just to tidy up the bone, and then we apply the yellow, and the yellow is going to be fantastic because we'll have already a strong base to start from rather than the blue from before. So I'm just going to leave that to dry for a moment, and I'm going to have some more chili. So yeah, just a moment. So to give it a bit more to show, basically, just doing the bone over the shoulders. Obviously, it's not very clear or tidy right now, but as you can see, I've just went over and bone over on the yellow bits that I wanted to be in light. Just wish this would focus, but when it's got a very bright light source on the back, I think that's the main reason why it won't focus as well. But you can see it, so all is well. Fair enough. Enjoy your sleep, man. Good night. But yeah. Right now, nothing much is happening. Yeah, that's chili done. That's chili finished and over with. Now we have a cup of tea. That's going to take a while to cool down because it's just fresh out the pot into a travel mug container so that it stays warm. Ow! I'm keeping the glasses on then so I can read the chat. Yeah, okay, so let us do some more painting. This should have dried now. It's a small layer. Okay. Small layer was the nice one. Ooh, hello. Yeah, okay, so we'll just be adding some more bone. Just trying to think. Okay, so we'll be getting a better layout as well. This is just the first time stream, trial and error, I suppose. But yeah, okay. So just painting up at the moment. No idea how to get music on or anything, unfortunately, which I apologise for, but it happens. Just paint that. Okay. So, just painting over. Yep. So, yeah, like I say, I'll probably learn about how to do more widgets and stuff like that soonish. Just getting started, seeing what happens. Oh, bone. Lots of bone. But yeah. Okay, so that's gonna need a bit more. So, oh, sorry. I'm there. Now I can actually get to the miniature. Rather than accidentally knocking over the point of paint and going around it, close the lid because you've already got a bit of the paint out on the palette. So yeah, okay. So now we've applied a little bit more onto the yellow, onto the yellow bits. Now I need to get the blue back out, or the turquoise back out, to be quite frank. Hawk turquoise, because that's what I used on the shoulder pads to give it that bronze, to give it that very bright look. Yep, that's it. So that's just a drop. Mix it, because I forgot to mix. So hey, I'm gonna have to thicken it up during the brush layers. So there we go. Take off the excess and just apply it gently. Oh, that's nice. Very, very nice. Apply it right in the recesses so that we can get rid of that bit of yellow. Because half of it was just me being mad. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of the red guns. I'm going to replace them with copper instead. Because I couldn't think of a colour that would accurately get rid of the stuff. Sorry, not the stuff. Accurately get rid of the accurately give it a sort of Wonderland look. So I'm just going to give them some, without losing it out to looking very cheesy. So we're just going to paint up these bits. Right. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we'll go one viewer in, I suppose. If you want to talk one viewer, then just do. I'm just not doing much at the moment. Admittedly, I didn't get the prime time for things. It is very late at night, so I can understand why there wouldn't be anybody really on. I just wanted to test out the streaming because it's the first time I've properly used my camera, and because it's the first time I've properly used my camera, I haven't been doing too much. Oh, hello. Oh, right. Okay. So got rid of that. The blue is quite nice. I will build it up with some electric blues and stuff, just at the tips, the corners. I may as well tidy up with the green. Whether I can find the green. So that's the blue. I can't see properly because I am a blind man, apparently. Yeah. On another note, on Batman news, I am rebooting my Joker gang as well. And when I say rebooting, I'm giving it the full different look now. Obviously, this was Pickles McGregor. I've stripped him now, and I used methylated spirits. They are the miracle workers of models, just miracle workers. I will never touch Dettol after what happened to the Power Loader from Aliens. I was going to use for a conversion for Joker in a giant exosuit because it turned the whole thing into rubber. And yeah, that's going. That is a thing that's going, and it's gone. So no more Dettol, but methylated spirits seem to work fine on metal and plastic. Just can't use it for resin, so I'm going to have to find a better stripper for resin. Outside that, That's Pickles McGregor, just for one example. But on other examples, I've got this guy, which is my Master of Ceremonies, and obviously these are all on resin bases now. On cobblestone bases, I thought it was very nice, gothic noir feeling, like the Arkham, like the Arkham stuff always tried to portray, or the Arkham series tries to portray an aesthetic for the scenery or the surroundings. So I thought I'd go off the floor on that, and it looks a lot better than the cork that I just had them super glued on before. It was just a 30mm base, bit of cork, painted up grey to represent rubble. I was like, nah, I'm rebooting them, I'm going to do a good job. So, I did. I've got the new bases from Fenris Games, Innsmouth cobblestone bases, I believe they're called, and I just glued them on, and they look fine. At least infantry do. Pickles McGregor was mean streets on 40mm, I believe. These are 40mm bases. So yeah, as you can see, that is Mr. Hammer from the Arkham series. Yeah, I'm looking forward to repainting all these again, because it'll be fun just to do that. On another note, I did have one of the new Batman bases as well, with Arkham Knight Sniper. Thinking about changing out the head though, because I'm not fond of that head. It looks too bland. I'm thinking about giving them the proper Arkham Knight head, because I've already got Red Hood, Arkham Knight's Red Hood, so I thought I may as well give that some differentiation. I liked that head at the moment, but yeah, I like that head, but I was just meh. I don't really like it anymore. I changed my mind. I volunteer for a different head. Well, not literally, but still. So yeah, okay, so I'm gonna go back to the Lexcorp Heavy Trooper. Got some green. Come and eat your greens, kids. Apparently greens are very healthy for you. Little do they know is that all your greens are manipulated by the lizard people. And when the lizard people get you, then you're a goner. And nobody likes a goner. So be vigilant. Be vigilant against those veg. Ooh boy. Ooh-wee. So we're just going to tidy up the green with... Yep. Just going to tidy up the green. The bone with the green, sorry. Oh dear. So we're going to just be repainting a bit more. Just painting. Just as well as tidying up the green, what it's also doing is that it's building up in layers the colour of green, so that when you do get round to doing more highlights and washes and stuff, then obviously you've got a solid base to work on and just sculpt around within the context of painting. It becomes your clay, and your clay is yours to do as you wish once you've got the foundations laid out. So we have done that. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, I'm thinking I'm gonna have to do that turquoise again. I see bits of yellow and bits of silver, because what I did initially was just spray the whole thing in lead belcher metal. Lead belcher metal spray, black wash, null and wash it all over, or Abaddon, no, that's the primer, null and wash it all over, just again the recesses and stuff, and then just paint on the green on top and stuff. So, what have we got to do? What have we got to do? Got to paint over that green, but I'm not going to do that yet, because it's far too thin. The yellow would definitely just go all over it, so I may as well leave that till last. I'm trying to think. What else? What else could we do? What else could we do? Okay, so interesting. What should we do? Right. Go back to the turquoise, I suppose. Still wet. May as well take advantage of that. Ah, bells me aunts. Right. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay.
In the Emperor's grace, let us be guided.
Oh, we've got a notification here. Hey! Hello, Wolf Wraith. It's nice to see you. Awesome stuff, man. Thanks for following. Appreciate it. We're just painting at the moment. How are you this evening? Yes, it is evening. I can actually say that. I usually get mixed up between afternoons and evenings. At the moment, just painting up a Lexcorp Heavy Trooper like the Tin Man from Wizard of Oz with a Wonderland theme onto it. Because in the new edition, they've put Wonderland, Two-Face, Black Mask, and Lexcorp all with organised crime. So you can take Mafia gangsters with Two-Face's henchmen, and you can take Lexcorp troopers with the Wonderland gang. So I've decided to take full advantage of that, within the context of painting opportunities. Thanks for the welcome. Appreciate it. So how are you today, or this evening? Cause I'm just painting this guy up. Hang on. Had something stuck there. Sorry. Nasty. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing? I can't really do anything more because problem is if I do some turquoise over that, it goes onto the actual arm plate, and so I need to go around with the green and get the edge here, and that's gonna need a steady hand. Can I pull it off? Can I pull it off, folks? Can he pull it off? The answer is yes, apparently. There we go. So it's nice because I've got an actual an actual PC which allows me to actually stream. So that's quite nice. Boy. And nobody will be using it because it's Thursday night, and every night in a student accommodation is drinking night. So nobody uses the Wi-Fi much. So, well, I've got a LAN cable, but nobody uses the internet much is what I was trying to say. Because nobody uses the internet much, I get free reign. It's all fun and games. Not bad. Painting far too many poxel. So many poxel. I know those feels. Wolf. I definitely know those feels with Raptors. Just all the trims. It's partly like why I've just haven't done much 40Ks. Just like I've got so many Raptors to do, and if I want to do them to be viable again, I've got to buy another 6 sets just to get melter guns and bodies for melter guns. Sorry, and all that fancy shizzle. And I'm like, nah, I'm out. You know what I mean? I spent 10 months painting up those Raptors. I'm trying to be nice here. Try and paint up those Raptors, and I'm like, nah, not again. I'm not changing up a vital part of my list. That's going to take us another 10 months to paint, only to realise that the meta's probably shifted again or something. So it's like, nah. Yeah, alright, I'll just stick to fun games right now. Okay, so we need to wash the brush again. Get the green. green. Let's paint the green, guys. Let's paint the green. Paint the green, 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 paint the green. Sometimes you just gotta randomly sing the Doctor Who theme. But yeah, I'm looking forward to using this guy as well in my games of Batman. It's gonna be fun. Having Tweedledum, Tweedledee, and then this big bad man. Just, yeah. Okay, this is fun. This is going to be very funny to actually see as well. I mean, the main tactic is this guy's just going to finish off whatever Tweedledee and Tweedledum shoot at because he's only got 2 blood damage. So may as well just go, right, Tweedledee, Tweedledum, do the bulk of the damage. If you're peppering henchmen, then this guy with 2 blood damage can easily snipe out leftover henchmen. So it's like Tweedledee, want the beam weapon, want the laser rifle. Yeah. Awesome, man. I haven't checked my phone yet, but I will check for the poxwalkers and stuff. Nice, nice. I'll have to check that battle report out. I haven't been really watching too many battle reports at the moment, only because I've been so focused on me uni work at the moment. I've been really enjoying that, and I've just been playing that. Well, I've been working on that so much because I'm just enjoying the experience over at uni. I'm really enjoying just what I do. I love putting my ideas in, and it's nice because you can actually mix pleasure with work, and that's how I want to live life. As long as I've got something to pay the bills, I don't want to end up like my dad per se, and keeps hating his job, but he has to work at it because he's good at it and he's got a decent pay for it. So, long story short, I've seen what it can do to people, and I decree not to me. And obviously, there'll be times where I will probably be going for like a janitor's job or something like that. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I say, I mean, at the moment for me, I know there'll probably be jobs I'll hate and stuff in the future, but for me, a job that I'll hate is being a job that's only temporary. I've got me aspirations, I've got my goals. I want to be a scriptwriter, director. That's what I'm pushing ahead for. And that's one of the reasons why I'm starting to spend less on the wargaming side of things. Because I love these skirmish games. To me, they're affordable. I can just buy the mini, I can paint the mini, I can take time with the mini, and I know that it'll last longer than 5 minutes. Unlike my Night Lords, which I'll paint 10 months on Raptors, and I'll rehash that tag out right so many times. But I'll spend 10 minutes, and then all it takes is a Baneblade or a Storm Lord to go point and click, and all your Raptors that you spent that much time on is dead. Yeah, I know what you mean. Age of Sigmar, Skirmish, and the Games Workshop board games. I love Space Hulk. I do love Space Hulk. When I got the 3rd edition, I really enjoyed that. I've been thinking about Shadespire, but at the moment it's mainly I'm a bit 50-50 on it. I want to do it, but I need... Yeah, Space Hulk is unfortunate. They should make it... They should bring it back as a permanent game, in my opinion, because the amount of people that would buy that up, in addition, they could make like live expansions for it as well. I don't see a downside to it if they brought it back permanently. But yeah, it's like Shadespire. I want to play it, but right now it's just funding. There's other things I've got to spend right now. Plus, I want to get into cosplay as well because I've had a bit of a go with cosplay, just making a generic shoulder pad. But I really enjoy going to conventions now, and it's really nice. I like the atmosphere. I like the cosplayers because the cosplayers tend to be like the friendliest ones. So, like I say, Skirmish, it'll fit me bill for what I need. I can play Batman. I can play my favourite guy, Mr. Freeze, since I was 4 years old. He's been my Arkhamite. And like I say, I'm not giving up on 40k. It's just that's taken a rather large backseat because I can't go through painting a load of stuff only for someone to get one game, maybe a victory out of it. But obviously they have more time compared to me, so they can reallocate and spend time doing other things, whilst I am very intensive for my time just because of what my career aspirations are. So in that sense, I can't compete with others. So I've decided I'll just play for fun. I'll just play for narrative events. If I want anything competitive, I've got my skirmish games, and I like my skirmish games. So, like I say, I'm not bashing 40k or anything. It's a good game. 8th edition is really nice. It's just I don't personally have the time to invest as heavily as I could before. Meanwhile, John Constantine's coming for this month for Batman. So everyone's looking forward to that. Plus, I'm hoping to do something with Sentinel City villains now because they've mainstreamed all the gangs into like a very few sets. So like anything like Two-Face can go into organised crime now and all that. But they've also made a one where it isn't Gorilla Grodd anymore, but the Central City villains. So I'm hoping to do a lot more of the CW verse because I would love to see 2 speedster leaders, which will be Savitar and Zoom, complete with sidekicks like Alchemy and Black Siren, with meta henchmen for Zoom and religious fanatics for Savitar. And I think that would just be brilliant. That would be excellent just to get started on the go with, as well as more Gorilla henchmen, because you can't have enough Gorilla henchmen. Plus, who doesn't want to see Zoom with Captain Cold and Heatwave? Also, I want to see like CW Deathstroke for Militia with Mirakuru soldiers. I think that would be absolutely brilliant. But that's just me. I'm going into really geeky territory now. But yeah, like I say, I'm enjoying 40k, but I'm just taking it as a bit of fun now. I'm out of the race per se, but I do enjoy it still. Just I enjoy it more in a more narrative sense. And on that note as well, in a narrative sense, I've just started role playing with people because a friend asked us if I wanted to role play. I think we're playing Pathfinder 5 3.5. I just said I just want to be like a King Arthur knight, basically a paladin who can just be in a knight of shining armor just to bust up someone dead. And that's what I'm going for. So I'm looking forward to that, definitely. But yeah, like I said, this guy's role is to provide a counterbalance to heavy hitters like Killer Croc and like the Gotham Butcher from Court of Owls. Ooh, nice. You got 5th edition D&D at 4 o'clock in the morning. Wow, man. You've got some patience there. I tell you what, one of my favourite moments 2 years ago, one of my favourite gaming moments happened. I got Imperial Assault because I asked my flatmates at the time, would they enjoy like a board game-esque, sort of collectible board game, which is Star Wars Imperial Assault. So I made the investment because people said they were interested, and we spent from, 9 o'clock at night till 6 in the morning playing solidly straight to get the hang of the rules, and it was absolutely fantastic having Darth Vader around and stuff. Do you think we may get Etrigan since we are getting John Constantine? Yes. I expect him somewhat soon. I'm not part of any inner network with Knights models, although I wish I could be, but people are in demand for Etrigan. People want Etrigan, really want Etrigan. We've got John Constantine, we've got Zatanna. It looks like they're building up towards Justice League Dark since they have the Swamp Thing. So because they've got Swamp Thing, I'm thinking they're going to build a Justice League Dark team, and we're going to have that for DC game against the likes of Darkseid and the Crime Syndicate and stuff. But I also think we're going to have it for Batman as well, because one of the things that's interesting in Limbo at the moment is the teams, because you can technically still use them, but they're the old rules from first edition. They don't technically have the team rules still, but people are still playing them because they're just going, right, well, here's the extra rules, this is what we're doing. Now, I have to admit, I haven't had a look at the FAQ, so it could be in the FAQ, and I haven't seen it. So the team rules could be there. But we also think there's also a Magic rulebook coming out, and that could have the... It's not a rulebook, it's an expansion, but I think it's going to have stuff. Yeah, loads of people are asking for Justice League Dark. It's like the CW stuff, like The Flash and all that. People want to see more CW stuff. They want to see them branch out into Gotham more, because they've got the license for Gotham, the CW verse, and Batman the Animated Series, and people want to see them branch out their ranges. And I think one of the reasons why they're held back is because now everything's going back into resin, and they're making a drop in prices as well. So things are a lot more cheaper than they were in metal. They're back to their old starting prices, admittedly, but a price drop's a price drop. And especially for skirmish collectible miniatures, that price drop's just grand. You know what I mean? So every little helps, in my opinion. But yeah, Justice League Dark, I'd be interested. To be fair, there is Darkseid and its Apocalypse minions. Is what are they called? Demon is little goblin minions. Oh, I knew what they were called, and now like their names just slipped us. But it's just like his little henchmen, Apocalypse minions and stuff like that. That'll be the gang I want to start if they don't do Brainiac soon, because I like the Darkseid model and he's just a beast. It's like I would love to do him with Doomsday and just Apocalypse henchmen, because that would just be evil. But yeah, outside of that, I've got plenty of DC minis as well because of Multiverse, and they've basically made free cards and all that in the rulebook for many of the Batman characters. So that's always enjoyable to see. I just wish they kind of did Mr. Freeze. If they did Mr. Freeze, I'd be happy. But hey, can't have everything. Right, we're going to paint green. So just paint green. Ugh. Right now on this guy, it's just building up to thick bases. Really, that's all it is. It's just getting the base colors thickened up so much that it'll just provide a solid base to get rid of all the silver. And it's taken a while, but like I said, this guy is just a one-off. Once he's painted, you know what I mean? So I'm not that begrudged. It's not like me Raptors. That reiteration of nightmares. And I'm not talking in theme, because obviously it's Night Lords, Raptors, and nightmares and stuff. But no, they were a painting nightmare because of the trims, and I'll never forget them for that. I just now have like trim phobia, if that's a thing, where it's like a fear of painting trims, because it's just those Raptor trims, just horrible. I think if you were playing skirmish stuff, I think they're okay because it's only 5 guys. But so Shadow War Armageddon, which is actually something I'd like to get into actually, because I've got the Shadow War Armageddon book, but I'd rather just have I'd rather get into that because it's a skirmish game and I can still use me Night Lords and stuff. Bad man. But yeah, like I say, for tactics wise on this guy, Tweedledum, Tweedledee, pep around henchman. Then this guy can just snipe him off because he's rated 5/4, so that's 4 dice. They can split off to other characters or to other henchmen. Most henchmen are endurance 4 or 5. So what happens is I'll just be peppering people with Tweedledum and Tweedledee who do 3 blood damage per rate fire round, and between them both you've got 5 rounds of fire, so 5 sets of 3 blood damage on 5 henchmen, And then 4 will just take 4 could potentially take 4 henchmen off the board. Now, I'm saying that, will it actually happen? This is the thing. Dice rolls and positioning, because I've had many times where Tweedledum, Tweedledee have just failed to do anything because I've made them too aggressive, and opponents just walk up to the face and just go, yeah, I'm going to hit you in the face now, and you're not going to like it. And you're going to go on the ground, and you're going to stay on the ground. So yeah. But it's just trial and error. It's just getting used to the second edition, and I'm really enjoying second edition because the rules are free online on the Knights Models website, and the rules are a lot more streamlined, a lot easier to get into as well, because it's not a case of rolling so many dice now. It's just standard statistics. So you spend a movement counter to move 2 inches now, and obviously it moves from centimeters to inches now. But stuff like lampposts and sewers, you just get standard 3 now. You don't roll to see how many lampposts and sewers come on. Saying that, though, I think League of Shadows needs something right now, because apparently they're not doing too well because of the standard 3 lampposts, meaning that their like stealthy gimmicks, well, their stealth tactics are reduced to very highly. So it's interesting to see what they're going to do, but I think half of it is people are wanting to do them as excessive damage dealers, and they're not taking into the fact of the lamppost, so they're just getting shot up and dying. So I think what people may need to think about is just tackling on lampposts instead. Make the first 2 turns or something. Have lampposts within you close to like opening deployment, so that when you move, you can get there and just smash up 3 lampposts at the most, meaning that there's only 3 lampposts plus whatever stratagems you've got to play around with. And also use the sewers stratagem where you can get extra sewer, because I think it's going to be less about their rules now, more about very much board positioning, which I think is part of the league's strategy anyway, since they're meant to be manipulative and all that and hiding in the shadows and stuff. They're not meant to come at you full force. They're not the Court of Owls, which are like beat stick henchmen. They are ninjas, and ninjas can be taken down by warriors. As seen on that What If show with the Spartan versus the Ninja. Still remember that, it was pretty enjoyable. But that's because I like Spartans more than ninjas. Yeah. We need the brass or the bronze. Do I have bronze? Ooh, gold guns, gold guns, gold. Gold guns? Gold guns. Yeah, I think that could work. Gold guns. We'll try gold guns. So, give this a little shake. Yeah. Yeah, like I say, the Batman as well. Batman gaming area is now really expanding. Me and a friend have managed to get like 7 more people into the game. And that was before Battle Bunker closed. But yeah, we're getting people into the game now. So hopefully Batman should be more of a mainstream thing in gaming stores and gaming clubs. I play at Victory Games Club as well from time to time, just to bring in the games. Well, just to bring in all the stuff. Ooh, that's a lot better than my idea. Because I thought the copper would be too much. It would be too harsh with the silver contrast. But these gold guns, ooh, that's very Wizard of Oz. Gold guns because of all the sparkly gold things happening with Dorothy and the Scarecrow and stuff like that. Scarecrow. Oh, that's the thing as well. Hat is now a free agent to anyone but the Brave and Bold. So he's a leader for organised crime, but he's also a free agent. So what I want to do is add him into my Scarecrow gang because of the law-friendly Tetch and Scarecrow team up I've seen in the Long Halloween, and I believe Dark Victory as well, but I could be wrong on that. Oh dear. Oh, I like that colour. I think I'm gonna have to do a few layers, but this gold, it's motto bene. This is actually working really nicely. I'm very happy with this at the moment. The Batman. Hopefully in my next stream I'll have a different setup. Just this was the first time streaming, just really getting a grip with it. That light is too bright, I admit. But I'll get a different light tomorrow and I'll hook it up and hopefully it'll be less intense. It'll still be bright, but less intense. Batman. Just insert the Hans Zimmer there. 1, 2. But yeah, I'm looking forward to my next game of Batman when I can be able to. It's just one of those games that I really enjoy. It's just, I can't see a fault with it. It's by far, it's the game that I've wanted. It's the game I've always wanted. It's got Mr. Freeze Gang. Can't complain there. It's went too thin. I'm gonna have to take a little bit of paint off because it's too thin. But yeah, it's just the balance to me is as close to perfect balance as you can get for a game, and I like that. I think that's especially hard when obviously you're talking about DC and everyone wants their like Arkham Rogue to be the best. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that it is just so balanced. Well, could League of Shadows use lampposts on top of buildings so that they can avoid it? And also, I think that's something when you're deliberately playing against Batman-led gangs. Because if you've got people with loads of backclaws, then yes, illuminating them is a must. You won't want to get near them because you'd want your objectives instead. Not a thought. I'm just trying to think for League of Shadows because all I keep hearing is how League of Shadows got nerfed and got hit hard, and I just think they did take a hit, admittedly, but I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I think there are ways around it. It's just people like to moan, really, sometimes. But that's people for you. Gotta love them, though. Sugar honey iced tea. Yeah, it's very thin right now. At least the detail isn't being clogged out like I thought it would be. Because it's had turquoise, then it's had red. Now it's got this gold on it. It's like, am I going to start killing the detail? No, I'm not, apparently. But I think that's because I'm applying it very, very thinly. Just, ugh. It looks disgusting when you've got it on so thin, but then you've got to remember or remind yourself that you're building it up in layers, and when you build it up in layers, it's a lot more smoother effect. I just hate the first look where it just doesn't look right. It's just like, no. But it's getting done. That's what matters. Yeah, I like this gold. This gold is very much fairy godmother vibes onto my Tin Man. The Batman. The Batman. Yeah. In terms of battle reports and stuff, I do want to do them again. Just my camera, I need to go through insurance with it because my camera on my phone, well, the motherboard on my phone was fried, so I've got to go through insurance and claim it again. Say again. I've got to go through and claim it, sorry. So that's why I haven't really done any battle reports, but once I get them on, I am so doing Batman 2nd edition battle reports because I'm looking forward to it. I want to do like audio drama segments, but I don't have the Adobe package so far, and I won't be getting it until next year. So, when I can afford it. But once I do, oh boy, is production going to happen on my channel. Especially when I'll have a lot more time as well, because I'll be doing more theoretical work, next year, because all my practical topics are this year, and then they've given us 2 modules next year. That's just going to be theory. So I'm very happy that I've got all the practical today. Well, not today, this term, because it's so fun. I guess I'm in love with production. I've done runner jobs for people now, and I can safely admit to myself and confess to myself that I love production. I absolutely love being on a film set and making films and helping out. I've got my ideas for scripts. I just need to make that push. That's also a thing as well that I want to do. I want to get not the Adobe package. Not just the Adobe package, but I want to get myself a camera. I'll actually ask my grandpa tomorrow, because I'm seeing my grandmother and my grandfather tomorrow. So I will have a look. Like, at the moment, I'm just letting the paint dry. Now, it doesn't look like much. I admit, it does not look like much at the moment, but that's because it's the first layer. Once we start adding more thin layers on, remember, 2 thin coats, people. But once we add more layers onto that, that's going to look fantastic. Now, if we actually give it some light rather than having it as a silhouette. Oh, geez, Rick. Nope, that's not going to work. Because it's shown the shadow, yeah, because it's been, yeah, okay. Object source lighting, people. I know this stuff. Will we actually see something? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it doesn't look like much at the moment, but it's gonna, like I say, I'm just having a drink of tea. In fairness, I've stopped drinking milk for my tea. I just drink black tea now. It's very interesting. Oh, apparently it's meant to be healthier, so... And I'm trying to improve myself, so... Everything's positive from now on. You know, don't think of things as a detriment. You got to start thinking of things as an opportunity. And that's what I'm going to do. I wonder if I can get myself some headphones. Not yet, but next year I can get myself some proper headphones and microphone to go with it, so I can actually just talk into a mic. If I can talk into a mic, that means I can add in another audio source. If I can add in another audio source to cancel that one out, I'll have a crisper sound. I was going to say crispier sound, but I don't think that's right pronunciation. So, because I can punctuate, if that's a thing. Yeah. Just gotta wait for the paint to dry. But yeah, once I've done him, I'm gonna do my Joker gang again. Because the one thing I really want to do, because a lot of people are going for the Arkham City Joker still, is I want to use the Killing Joke Joker, because that model is magnificent. Oh, it's just beautiful. But you never see it played because it's just overshadowed by Arkham City Joker. So I want to get good with that Joker. After Freeze, of course. Freeze is me boy. Freeze's top tier, my top tier tournament gang. Like my main 3 gangs is Freeze, Wonderland, and Scarecrow. And I love Scarecrow. Wonderland overtook Scarecrow, in fact, because Wonderland really grew on us. I mean, what happened in first edition was I started playing the gang. I had a solid lot. Oh, pardon me. Excuse me. Sorry. Oh, burping. Sorry. That's apologies. Right, but yeah, what happened was Wonderland gang happened, and I had a solid 2-month losing streak. But I learnt something every time I lost, and that's one thing I love Batman for, is because there is something. It wasn't a case of you brought the wrong list, or you didn't have this. It was a case of no, generally on the board there was a wrong you made the wrong tactical decision, which changed the game, and I like that. I like learning. I don't want to just, because to me, it's things like in 40k, it's like when someone says, you brought the wrong list, or it was just a bad matchup. That to me isn't learning from something. That to me is where is out of my control. I can't control that. So what's the point in even playing that, if that makes sense? So something where Batman comes along and it actually says, well, or when you talk with your opponent, well, instead of doing that, you could have done this instead. That's learning. That's tactical progression. Not to me, not the oh look, you brought say monstrous creature horde spam against Adeptus Mechanicus with all their anti monstrous creature guns and Onager spam or something like that. The death gun of D6 damage minus 3, 4, D3 shots, something like that. You know what I mean? There was genuine learning, and with Wonderland, it took us 2 months, but it was all for tourney practice. And the week before the tourney, I had 2 games and I won them both in a row. Come to the tournament, and it was in the Lake District at Reggeed, and I absolutely loved it because I hadn't been to Reggeed in years. So it's just like I'm playing Batman Miniatures game in the Lake District in a place that was in that's fondly remembered by childhood. Yeah, let's do this. And my first game was against organised crime. Yes, because it was cropped cops with Commissioner Loeb and Brandon. And what happened was I utterly tore my opponent up. Turn 2, I got 14 victory points, which is massive in Batman. Absolutely massive. I played my turns right, but we only got to the 3rd turn because my opponent was a bit slow. Unfortunately, these things happen. I don't begrudge my opponent for it. It's just these things happen, I suppose. But I just won that. I swept up the first turn. Second game was against Adam West, Azrael, and Black Canary. And I have to say, like Killer Croc, me Jabberwocky with that with the Wonderland gang is absolutely magnificent. And the reason why he's so magnificent is because he just pops out the sewer, and he doesn't even need to be an objective. He just needs to provide a distraction in your opponent's deployment zone, because he fixated 2 of his characters, Azrael and Black Canary, on Croc. Now, Croc may have been locked down and couldn't do anything, but that tough skin saved him a lot. But because he spent 2 very heavy, he had 3 reputation-heavy characters, and he spent 2 of them going right at Croc, just spending so much time to try and kill him to get the victory points. Azrael couldn't punch him. I was defending like a boss. He just couldn't, like, he got knocked out once and then he just woke up straight away. So he got the victory points for knocking him out, but he had very little else because obviously they were expensive. He had a few cops and that was it. And if Hatter loves anything with his special T for his hypnotizing device, it's henchmen cops, because they're so low willpower. He just goes, look into my eyes, and I'm getting free victory points. If there's a guy in the way, I'll just shoot him up, kill him. Fine. I think I even hypnotized Adam West at one point. I think I punched a cop in the face with him. But I won that. It was a close game, but I just managed to pull out victory points with the 5 victory point difference. But it was a close game, but man, I loved that game. And then my 3rd game I drew, and it was against organised crime with Red Hood and the Outlaws. And it was just a few gangster mafia henchmen with, I believe, Zaz, a load of crazies, and a few Blackgates, and a few of the gangsters, with Red Hood at the lead. And the terrain was fantastic, but I could not get a shot off. I just could not get that shot off. You had a perfect guy in sniping position, but then remembered that he didn't have the best range in the world, so that kind of saved us a lot of hassle and bother. But you got to a point where I needed to be on an objective, and Croc popped out. He sent all his crazies at Croc, and Croc just stood there thinking, yep, free food. He grabbed them all, just tore off the heads, and just ate them. It was absolutely ballistic. It was absolutely fantastic. It was just like, yeah, I'm a tar pit guy and I love henchmen. Rip them apart, fine. And I got a few victory points from there, but we ended up that game on a draw. It was so fierce, but the problem was because I was spending so much effort and time in one side of the board, it gave me opponent a lot of free space, and I tried locking the space down with me range weapons of Tweedledee and Tweedledum, but they could not get shots off because those ping rolls, which are basically cover saves for those in 40k, or even Age of Sigma. I'm not even sure if Age of Sigma have a cover save anymore, but anyhow, before I digress, having those ping rolls saved them a lot of bother, and then you had the acrobat trait, which allowed them to dodge hits. So basically, you can use your movement to basically do cartwheels around bullets and laser beams and stuff like that. I just couldn't get shots off, but we ended up that game on a draw, and because I got 2 wins and a draw, I came 3rd place, and it was great, and that's why Wonderland is my 2nd favourite. Jervis Tech is somebody who's grown on me because I got good with that gang, and I honestly think I could have came 2nd or 1st, even 1st, sorry, if my first game ended on natural turns rather than halfway into the game. I think that would have been a brilliant, brilliant game. But yeah, that's the tea over. So, rambling out the way now, I'm going to start painting again. Oh, hello. I'll put you right over here again. But yeah, that was my... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I took a bit on without any guns too. Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. But it's stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's things like that in Batman which just give it that balance. I feel. Like you say about you took down a vehicle list without any guns. It's doable. It's like if you can't kill something, because there was plenty of times I couldn't kill something, or I was scared about killing something because I didn't think I could pull it off. Like Brandon. Brandon's a hard one. Brandon's so hard. But for a corrupt cop, but a cop nonetheless. You got people like Deathstroke and stuff like that. It's like, okay, sometimes you might not be able to take them down, and they're just at the best place they can be. So don't. Just go for your objectives. Live on your objectives, because if you can't take out Deathstroke or have anyone to take out Deathstroke, there's another way around it. It's not like in... Well, I know I'm making a lot of comparisons to 40k and stuff like that, but it's just that... It's just it's the easiest thing I can relate to, and it's the easiest thing I think a lot of people can relate to if they're watching the chat as well and they're watching the stream, is that, it's the amount of times I've seen online on the internet just saying, oh, this is a bad matchup, or there's no possible way you could have won because your list was wrong and his was right, you know what I mean? And it's that sort of mentality which, I don't feel you can get a good... Well, I'm not saying that competitive play doesn't exist in 40k or anything, but comparing my experiences with 40k tournaments and Batman tournaments, I'll always go for the Batman tournaments because there's, as you've just said, there's always a chance you can win. There isn't a wrong list. There isn't a bad list. You know what I mean? You didn't expect to win, you won. And the amount, I've only had 1 or 2 40k games where it's been like that, but compared to me Batman games, I always give Batman the best challenge I can, and I love it because I feel Batman fits my game style, not play style, game style, of that there is that way around things. It isn't as heavy into one sort of tactic like 40Ks, which has a heavy emphasis on... Oh, very nice. We have neutralized network attack, apparently. Hey. But it's just that emphasis on killing. And I don't mind, obviously, even in Batman, you've got to kill things. But I like how some gangs can't or need a different approach rather than just straight out damage output, which I feel 40k is too centralized on. If you want to play like a different play style, then I feel like even in play styles there's a tier system, because people just pick the most efficient ways to kill things, or because survivability, no matter what happens, even in especially in 8th, is Weight of Fire will just take anything down. And I think, that play style is tilting towards that way. And it's done it in previous editions before, but I think it's starting to add a really heavy emphasis on 8th. And I'm not saying 8th's a bad game. I enjoy 8th. I enjoy playing my Night Lords, and I enjoy playing them solely. It's why I'm now selling off my Adeptus Mechanicus, is because comparing like what I've just said with Batman, you've got people like the Riddler who can't win by damage output. They have to win by their own riddle schemes and stuff like that. And I love the idea that there's so many varieties of play styles. It's like Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze relies heavily on effects. Scarecrow, he's an odd one. You know what I mean? He's he's got his fear toxins, and once you get into his play style of just spreading fear as it should be, it's just so much fun. And then there's a dynamic because it's part of the same gang as the Arkham Knight, who is all about damage output, and Deathstroke, who's also about damage input. You know what I mean? If you want some guy who's a good support piece and does heavy damage, you take the Arkham Knight. If you want a guy who's like a one-man army, you take Deathstroke. And if you want someone who's about effects, you take Scarecrow. And Freeze is a bit like that too. It's like he's got the endurance, he's got heavy henchman with endurance, but they can be easily manipulated around with the willpower because the willpower is so low, and they have a low damage output. They can't kill things outright. They need a free agent to do that for them. But you can do other things around because they've got effects like Cold, which locks out your movement and takes away your movement counters. And you can build on that with Fire. So it's essentially Freeze's gang is basically the Weatherman's gang. Because what you can do is you can just fire freeze rays everywhere, make the movement cold, and just take away movement counters. And then Batman, you need to use movement counters now to get rid of fire counters. So if you take away all the movement counters first, don't even care about how much damage you do. Just take off those movement counters, replace them with fire counters, and suddenly you've got a guy on fire, and it's going to be, and your opponent's spending on henchmen at least half their willpower to get rid of fire counters because the fire counters grow, and you've got to spend one movement counter to get rid of one counter. So it's just so. Like I said, there isn't a straightforward approach to winning the game, and I like how all these playstyles can mesh and mash together, and ultimately it's all about your tactical choices in the game. Getting back to my original point, what I like about Batman is that the game competitively starts during deployment, during when the actual game starts. I don't feel as if in Batman my games are won and lost at list creation, as opposed to, say, 40k. And again, I'm not trying to bash 40k at all. I love 8th edition. I love the simplicity of how they've made all the characters basic down, if that makes sense. So they're less about having these individuals who could probably, bitch slap Abaddon because they had this fancy shield. And they've replaced that by making them as more buffery. So, but I like that because the power weapons now, there is an actual choice, I feel. Like, obviously, you got power maws. Like, back in 7th edition, you only picked, like, certain things, like lightning claws or power fists. But now, if you wanted something, there isn't really a bad choice because there isn't an AP system like in 7th. You still got an AP system, but it's a lot more about damage modifiers, and it's really nice to see, like, more variety, like power mauls versus power axes and power swords versus lightning claws. I like that. And as someone who likes skirmish games, likes really characterful stuff, I liked it in 7th, but the problem is I felt with 7th was there was the illusion of choice, if that makes sense. There was a lot of choices and a lot of relics you could take, but, and it's the heavy but, you pick that relic with that relic, and you've got an indestructible character. It's like, yeah, okay, time out. You know what I mean? So I'm glad they did that in a sense. The only thing I kind of wish they kept was dueling, but not as heavy as it was before. Just Warlord versus Warlord, and if you did that, you got an extra 6 victory points or something like that. I think if they did something like that or put it in chapter approved, I would love that. I would be heavily into that. But I also like how HQs are settled out now in comparison to special characters, because special characters are now worth taking to an extent. So if you want Abaddon, yeah, there's Abaddon. He's a monster now. Oh, pardon me, he's a monster now. Rabute Gulliman, he was powerful before, he's even more powerful now, you know. Special characters actually feel special rather than just going, okay, here's my generic biker lord or biker champion or biker sergeant with iron hands traits with a giant hammer and fancy shield. You know, I'm not saying, like I say, I'm not saying 8th edition's a bad game, but it's not. I think it's not the game that I used to love as much. Oh, Chaos have it, yeah. Chaos do have it. I'm not saying Chaos don't have it. Chaos are a powerful choice. I'm not saying like Chaos as a whole is bad, especially the Super Bowl stuff where you can have Magnus with stuff. Yes, yes, the Boon table. They do have that, but it's a lot more streamlined. So yes, they do have that, but because you have to spend strategy points now, not strategy, command points now. So when you spend command points, it's to do something else. So if I'm spending those command points, I'm not spending them on like passive morale, or I'm not spending them on me chapter specific stuff if like in Midnight Clad, which does a -1. You know, it's very much an even sided. But I do I like the boon, but it doesn't break them as much as sorry, it doesn't break them as much as like what happened in 7th. You know what I mean? So it's just an extra boost, but it doesn't make the character indestructible, and it means that even if they take it against someone like some Abaddon or something like that, or Marnius Calgar, or I'm trying to think, Typhus even Typhus or Mortarion, they're still going to have like at the most an even chance of fighting. But mostly it will be special characters. Even with the boons, special characters will just mow them down, which I think should be a thing. I do think that's something they did right, because it's pointless having all these special characters. Oh yeah, oh yeah, Typhus is fantastic. I love Typhus. I love the model as well. I love how bulky and meaty he is. But yeah, like I say, that's a right thing to do, because what's the point in having all these special characters when they're not really that special? You know what I mean? So, like I say, 8th edition is good. It's just I don't think it's the game that I don't want to sound corny and cheesy, but it's not the game that I used to know. But even then, you know what I mean? The Power 3 Necrons. Yeah. Oh, 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 oh. 3 Necron war squads of 10 to lose 1 wound. Oh, that's beautiful, man. That's beautiful. I like that. But that's exactly what I mean. You know, he's tough. You know, he's a special character and he should be tough. And the fact that he just took 1 wound out of all that firepower, you know what I mean? That's what should happen. You know, that's what I like. You know, and like I say, I like 40k, but I guess you do have to play by one real viable strategy, which is just damage output. Survivability is a thing, but I think it's secondary to damage output, if that makes sense. And I think for me, it's just I want more depth, if that makes sense. And I feel I can get more depth from other things, like, sorry, like, like I say, like more tactical things, because I don't mind damage output, but when I see something and I know just statistically this unit's going to be deleted, it's just, yeah, you know what I mean? Like I say, because I feel like I'm just like whinging about 40k, and I'm not. I'm not trying to say like it's a bad game, because I am enjoying it, but I think I need to appreciate it more as a narrative game, and I need to play more narrative games, I feel. Like I say, I'm not against it. I don't think I am flexible around the competitive circuit. And that's okay. I respect that some people really enjoy the competitive circuit and really enjoy the competitive circuit in 40k, just like how I really enjoy the Batman circuit. The Eldar Cut. Oh, don't worry, I'm ahead of you. I'm gonna make a massive rant on the YouTube channel. I'm gonna make a massive rant just saying Eldar, nope, lol, nope, Eldar. Nah. Being serious, I've seen some of the Eldar stuff, and I'm not that fussed. I think they got a right balance with Eldar now. But obviously, I'm saying that I'll wait until see what people do and how many people dick over and cheese up the Eldar Codex. But from what I've read from the community site, I'm not that bad. It's like I say, I don't wish to be negative about 40k or 8th edition. I do enjoy it, and I respect people who enjoy the competitive circuit just like how I enjoy the competitive circuit for Batman. But I don't think it's my scene, if that makes sense. I think for me, as someone who's heavily into more of the lore side of things of 40k, I want to see more of like the individual characters and character development rather than just going, okay, well, here's this soup ball that Kenny from Next Level Painting does with like all these, with Magnus, with Nurgle looking hell drakes and some random demons and some midget brimstone horrors and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I'm into the law side of things, and that's something I've just got to accept. It's like even if I've ever tried cheesing up things, and there's only one time during 6th edition where I cheesed up things deliberately, and I got 3rd place. So I know I'm not a bad player at 40k, but my mindset is if I'm going to do anything that feels out of place of a Night Lords list, I will convert, and I won't just say convert as in buying a resin kit, spray it blue, and then ta-da. No, I'll probably do it. Like, I want to do more Noise Marines, but the way I'm going to... But I've already done 5 from the Devastator kit, so what I did was I got the Devastator kit, got a spare Warp Talon bits, and, 2 boxes of Space Marines, Devastators. I got the Heavy Bolters, cut off the nozzle, placed it from the tank gargoyles, and I put on the Warp Talon head. Then I got the forged shoulder pads to put on them, and they're all in kneeling pose, and those are my Noise Marines. So for me, it's like if I'm going to do something that feels out of place, I'm going to convert it to look in place. It's like, here's a good example. Is it there? I haven't put them away, have I? Oh, know me. I know me. Well, let's take this guy for example. This guy, Biker Lord. Now, obviously, he isn't. How would you say? Biker Lord's a generic, yes, but when you think of Night Lords, you think of Raptors and Jump Packs. So I wanted to convert this to look more more in line with the Night Lord stuff. Now, obviously, it's got Dark Eldar bits, but that's what I wanted because most Night Lords in the Legion don't live in the Eye of Terror or don't live in how would you say, the Warp or the Maelstrom. They live in material space because they don't like. Yeah, he's a bit out of focus. Yep, that's fine. Totally get you. Sorry, man. But yeah, like I said, they mostly live in the material universe because they don't like the warp. It's one of those. It's the whole mentality of being a criminal, and criminals are traditionally and allegedly more superstitious. So there we go. So I wanted to do something different, and the idea was it was a biker lord, gone in a Dark Eldar raid, beat the raid, beat some warlord on a speeder bike, and said, "Well, I'm going to have his bike, and I'm going to mesh it with mine, and I'm just going to get me heretic, me head chief heretic, or me head chief warpsmith, just to cobble it together." Just as a prized possession, and that's his prized possession, rather than doing some sorry, rather than do some warp magic and stuff like that, it's like for me jug a load of corn. Yeah, it's like me jug a load of corn. I didn't use the classic Juggerlord and just paint it blue. I got myself the Thunderwolf Lord, cut off the upper torso of the rider, replaced it with convert bits from Raptor Kit, Chain Glaive, uh, convert Chain Glaive, Night Lord's Night Raptor head, like the proper bat wings that isn't like the 90s one, like the Forge Lord ones, and a plasma pistol. And I call him like Fernax the Punisher, and he's the guy who kills all like the sinners. And in Night Lord tradition, or Nostraman edition, when a Chaos Night Lord commits a sin for, well, what would be considered a sin for the Legion or going too far or something like that, they drench their gauntlets or hands in red, in, well, what used to be red paint, probably now blood. And that represents that they're on like the Suicide Squad in DC, where they're on like an extended prison sentence, and at any moment they could just be executed, unless they earn a title of repentance within the Lord's acceptance, basically. And so Fernax the Punisher was the guy who was the guy to carry out the executions. And that's why he's got his giant wolf, is because nobody messes with an 8-foot demigod on a giant night wolf. And what I did with the wolf was I used the Vargeist wings, and I used the big ones to launch onto the side, and then the small ones on his hind legs, so it just looked more chaotic, to show that even when they just make a quick trip through the warp, the ship, even though it has a Geller field around it, it still mutates, it still warps, and that's what's happened to the wolf. He's claimed wolf as his own, but during travels slipping through the warp, it's mutated to have these giant bat wings on it. And I thought the idea looked great in my head. I execute the idea and it looks fantastic, and I'm busy painting that up. But like I said, these are all ideas for lore, and I'm into the lore side of things, and that's what I like. And I think that's what it is for me personally. I like the lore, but having these characters go out against, say, like that list I just said, against Magnus with 3 Hell Drakes that were from Death Guard with some Brimstone horrors, it kind of kills your enthusiasm to go, oh, look, you're so all that time you spent about thinking about lore and stuff, and it's gone. You know what I mean? It wasn't in a blaze of glory, it died with a whimper. It's like, I think for me, 40k competitive wise, I'm not tuned into that side. And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that people who are into the competitive side are bad people or anything. Everyone's got different tastes. Everyone's got different opinions. Everyone's got different ideas. But for me, I think, like I say, I put so much effort into thinking about ideas for these guys and stuff like that, that I think I'm more suited towards narrative games. Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think I need to make a confession, because I do think I'm just in with the wrong crowd. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not saying like the players who I know are bad people or dicks or anything like that. Everyone's got their own tastes of how they play the game. And I agree. I totally agree. I think I'm playing with people who have a different mindset to us. I would usually define myself as semi-competitive. I won't. I will on the board. I will play to win. I will follow the rules and I will play to win. But I won't. But that's where it starts and stops for me. That's where it begins and ends. Outside the game, I'll be cool. I'll be talking. I'll be sociable. You know. Pre-game, I can't physically make a list for, well, like how Daka makes lists, or how like really top heavy competitive people make lists. I can't make myself do that. I need to play with things that I want to play with, because I've been there. Oh yeah, we need to play a game. We need, once I get me Night Lords painted, we will have a battle report. But like I say, it's just, for me, I've been there in 5th edition. I've been there where I've just where my Thousand Suns got replaced with Plague Marines, and I had Abaddon. I had all this hodgepodge of really badly painted minis because I was just starting out then, and I enjoyed it for a while. But then I got to a point where I was just like, what am I playing with? I felt myself change. I don't know, that sounds really edgy. That makes me sound like an edgelord. Well, I play a Night Lord, so I think I can get away with it. But still, I just felt myself change, and I didn't like the direction. I ended up just complaining more about the game than I was enjoying it. I was every time I lost, it wasn't my fault. It was because I had a bad matchup, or it was because I did some, or it was, well, not because I did something, or because I had the wrong unit, or because I kept trying to fine tune it to be this competitive meta ultra breaking thing, and I couldn't do it. And I had to take a step back, and I had to say, no, this is where I've got to draw the line. I've got to bring myself back into the spirit of the game. And I didn't, like I say, it was fun having all the Plague Marines and stuff like that, but I can't go back there. It's like I remember when I was younger, when I was in 5th edition and 6th edition, um, just I kind of use DACA as like a metaphorical surrogate parent, you know what I mean? And that's bound to twist a youngun's impressions and views around the game, because back then, and still today now, DACA is known as a cesspit, you know? So yeah, I think even other players, like if you talk to Phil from the Dark Artisan and stuff, I think he would say the same. I think he would say I'm a better player now than I was before. Not just in terms of skill of the game, but just as a better attitude. I can't go back to that full on competitive stuff because I know I'd change and it wouldn't be for the better. So I think that's what it is. Like I say, I'm not against the competitive game, and I'm not against people playing the competitive thing. I just can't. For me, what I've always tried to do is make something interesting in a tournament where it still has at least an equal chance of winning a game, but it's something that you don't see every day. Because how many times do you see Brimstone? You don't even see Chaos Marines. You just see Chaos Demons with like Demon Princes and Brimstone Horrors, bubble wrapping around them, and think, well, that's not, you know. I always find it funny how this giant, like 12 to 20-foot monstrosity of a Demon Prince is basically not a target priority, because there's this midget called a Brimstone Horror that's the size of its toe that you've got to shoot first. You know what I mean? So it's just, I can't bring myself to do stuff like that. I just think it's just because I'm trying not to use strong and crude language. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think I should have 1,500 points painted. I will get back to you, because obviously I'm painting the Lexcorp Heavy Trooper now. Once I've painted that, I'm going back to my Warp Talons, and hopefully I'll do some more. This was only just to be like, so at my first stream, it was just meant to test out the waters per se, but it was also just trying to get out. Sorry, it was trying to get. Oh, hello, that's me, Heretic. Sorry, I have to stand him up. Don't fall, please, Zephron. Thank you. But like I say, it's just, for me, it's about not what you use, but how you use it. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, I know. I fully understand what you mean. Like I say, it's like, for me, I just have my Raptors. I love my Raptors because I've spent the time and effort in painting them. And it's the same with Warp Talons. I love my Warp Talons. I love the amount of time that I'm putting into them and painting them because they look nice. You know, I think that's what it is for us. Like I say, I enjoy the game. Like I say, I enjoy, and I'd be more than happy to play a game with you. But right now, I need to get a better camera for a battle report as well. Definitely, because we'll have to do a battle report for the channel. I'll have to make it a thing. Oh, the paint's dried. That was a long, long talk. Ooh, that's a massive no-no. Sorry, yeah. But yeah, like I say, I enjoy 40k, but I need to play more narrative things and get the hang about narrative. Like, I've got the open play stuff. And I haven't used it yet, so I think maybe we should use that. Just do the random card deployment with the random card missions and stuff like that. Then just make a narrative around it, just to play the game. Actually, play the game, not play the math of the game. Play the game. You know. Oh dear. Like I say, I don't want to say. I don't want to feel like I'm ranting and really just whinging about it, because it's not a bad game. It's not. It's just, I think competitive wise, I wanted more out of it. Yes, definitely. We shall have a game. We shall go to the ball, Cinderella. Like I say, I do need to play more. Just at the moment, it's just getting time as well. I'm loving my university at the moment, and I'm loving my university choices, and I'm loving my university work. So I've got right now. I'm trying to make a schedule to play around. Well, not play around, but to make a schedule around, because I need to get a job as well for this award certificate as well. So that's obviously going to put more time restrictions on us. But we will get a game. Oh no! Oh, that's me. Yeah, my brush kind of just went into the pot. Didn't get any paint on it, luckily, but yeah. We shall get a game. We shall get a game. I just gotta figure things out and get sorted with it. Right, this panel needs to be painted over. Yep. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, there was that as well. The TT Combat bought up Hawk War Games, and that was interesting. I mean, I enjoy Drop Zone and stuff like that, but I never got it. I had a few games with Phil, and that was it. And it's like, I want to play more of it. It is a fun game, and I love the faction that I chose, which was the Resistance. It's just getting down to actually painting the stuff and getting them. But yeah, that's in the backdrop of my mind. Right now, the top 4 or 5 games I'm playing is Batman, Malifaux, Doctor Who, 40k, and maybe a bit of Star Wars. I'm not sure how Legion's going to appear yet. I play Imperial Assault, but Legion looks appealing, but I want them to do Clone Wars. And I want them to do Clone Wars because I want a Republic army with Republic commandos. I want to see droidicas. I want to see B1 battle droids. You know, it's like I'm not against, like, I grew up with the Clone Wars, but it was the prequels, which I understand it gets a lot of flack. But at the end of the day, I did grow up with them, and I did like the Separatist army. But I loved the Republic, and I loved the clones and what you could do with the clones. But yeah, like I say, at the moment, I'm really enjoying Malifaux, Batman, Doctor Who, and 40k. Those are the games I want to play more. Age of Sigmar, I want to say I want to enjoy it, but I think my problem is I wanted a specific list for me Sylvaneth where it was just March of the Ents. But unless I play open play, which nobody really plays, unfortunately, I can't do that. And even if I was to play open play, and I think going back to what you were saying about like playing for the wrong group, I've just seen so many comments on Facebook where it's like where people talk of open play and just see it as an excuse not to build a narrative game, but just to literally cheese everything up to the max. I wouldn't enjoy it. And again, I think that's just exactly how you put it before. It's just I may be playing for the wrong group. It's like one of the things I wanted to do was to do the Wood Elves, or what are they called now? The Watchers, with me Sylvaneth, because I know Phil from the Dark Arts House having a hard time with his Arcanauts. Well, Arcanauts is dwarfs, the Sky Dwarfs that I can't remember the name of because I think it's too early in the morning. But yeah, he was having a hard time with them. He was getting very demotivated, and I thought, well, I'll do something a bit more fun. You know what I mean? And then he sold them off for Grey Knights, and it's like, yeah, okay. And then I see other Sylvaneth armies around the place, and I just think, I know exactly how, when you know how a conversation is going to go before it actually happens. So I can already see myself playing the list that I wanted to play, losing to it, and then opponents giving us advice where it's exactly like their list or something similar, but it lacks that soul, if that makes sense. And I'm not trying to bash Age of Sigmar either. I know I'm bashing Games Workshop games, and I'm trying not to, but I'm not saying Age of Sigmar is a bad game, but I know what's going to happen, and I just think I may as well not bother and just avoid that, you know what I mean? So that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I'm interested in seeing how Death comes out next year, but you know what I mean? Yeah, 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 I agree. Like I say, it's like, how would you say? It's like, I'm just gonna get doing some more green on this guy, but yeah, like I say, it's just Age of Sigmar, like the fluff. The law's okay. It's a developing game. It's a developing law, which is nice, you know. But I don't know. I don't think I can. I don't think I could get fully into it because there's too many other players that I don't think I'd enjoy playing against, or I don't think I'd enjoy playing against certain lists. You know what I mean? It's not a game. I don't think it's a game in an area where I'm willing to fork out a few hundred quid's worth of models, only to be told that I need to fork out another few hundred quids to get the right list. Yeah, I would love to do Skirmish a lot more, because I know you can get the Kurnoth Hunters for Skirmish. So if you ever want a game, just let us know. Just message us on Facebook or something, and if you do, I'll see what I can do, because I think maybe a skirmish game down at the Sunderland Games Workshop. Just let us know, and we'll try and get a game down there. Yep, because I'm more than happy to play the Kurnoths against you and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like I say, just plus I'm enjoying the skirmish games. I enjoy. Like I say, I'm painting up my Lexcorp Heavy Trooper right now. But I'm enjoying painting this up because I know when it's done, it's done. You know, I don't need to paint 50 more of the same mini and to know that it's not going to exactly suck. I don't know. Like I say, I feel like I've whinged on too much about it, and I wasn't trying to aim to whinge about Games Workshop games. Because, like I say, I hope I've been balanced enough about my opinion. Because, like I say, I don't hold it against other people. It's just, I can't play by, if as soon as I feel like I'm playing for somebody else, I lose interest. You know what I mean? And it is a game where two players are involved. I'm not saying it isn't, but as soon as I let myself down, if that makes sense, as soon as I say, well, I'm only playing to be viable against people people X, Y, and Z, or this group X, Y, or these groups X, Y, and Z, rather than playing for myself and playing what I want, it's not my game anymore. It's not my half of the game, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm stepping away slowly. I mean, there's one Games Workshop game that I really, really hope comes out, and that's Battlefield Gothic. I love naval games. I love dystopian wars. I love the positioning and using the counters to steer the ships around. I love naval combat. And I would love to play dystopian wars again, or at least Battlefield Gothic with a Night Lord's fleet. Because that's combining my favourite lore from 40k and one of my favourite types of mass war games, which is naval games. I just, like, a lot of people dislike steering mechanics, and, like, I can understand why they would. Don't get us wrong, but I really like them. X-Wing. I do have X-Wing, and I did play it for a time. My problem with X-Wing is the power creep and how people actively encourage that power creep. It's like you had TIE Swarms, and now TIE Swarms got replaced by something else, which then got replaced by something else, and there's always like that top list, like there was in 7th edition and 6th edition 40k. That's why I don't really play for X-Wing. But I would love to play Marder because I like the big ships. Because the X-Wing stuff is nice for dogfights and stuff, but that's never been Star Wars to us. What's been Star Wars was the characters like Boba Fett and Darth Vader and Stormtroopers, and the big ships like the Imperial Star Destroyers, like the big ships, the big fleets. That's what I like. But yeah, I know what you mean. X-Wing, it's not a bad game playing for fun. It's not a bad game at all. I'm not trying to bash on X-Wing or X-Wing players. But like 40k, you've got to be around the right group of people. Because as soon as you start playing really competitively, it's like 40k from what I've read online. It's literally just a case of, if not maybe even worse. Not in terms of attitude, but because it's all about the cards and the upgrade cards. There might be a ship that you don't want or a faction you don't want. Say like you want to play Rebels and you don't want to play Empire, but you've got to have that Empire ship for that one card, which would significantly boost your Rebel force. That's what I don't like. It's why I stopped buying into Imperial Assault. I love all three factions in Imperial Assault. I love the Empire, I love the Rebels, and I love the Mercs. I really love the Mercs, especially when you can have assassin droids with HK assassin droids with Boba Fett. That's fun. But it was the fact that in order to actually play the skirmish side and the more tournament side of the game, you have to literally buy everything. And I don't have the investment for that. You know what I mean? I would love, and don't get us wrong, I would love to buy a load more Imperial Assault, especially with the new Jabba's Place, where you can get a Rancor with it. Rancor, oh, with Boba Fett. Count me sold. But it's, you've got, if you want to be viable in the Fantasy Flight games, you've got to buy everything. They treat their wargaming audience like a board game audience, which I feel is wrong. And I'm not saying, and that's not a bash at board game players. The problem is wargamers like us, we have investments in other games, and especially in my case, when I'm playing so many skirmish games, I don't have the. Yeah, I've got a Boba Fett stuff as well. The Boba Fett mini is so nice. I've got him up, but he's undercoated at the moment, but I am going to paint him up. In fact, here's Darth Vader. Also paint up Mr. Gold Guns over here. Mr. Tin Man. But yeah, like I say, Boba is great. Boba, I love Boba Fett. He's one of my favourite characters. I love, like, if they did Clone Wars and they started doing Mandalorians, I'd be all over them. Death Watch, oh, beautiful. Pre-Vizsla with those, like, black lightsabers. I can't remember what they were called, but there was just the Mandalorian war stuff. I'd be all over that. It's like you can have Darth Maul heading, like, a load of Mandalorians. I am up for that, I want Pre-Vizsla heading a load of things taking down the Empire. And Darth Vader, yeah, I'd be up for that, I love Boba Fett. Boba Fett and Vader is just a fun combination. But also Chewbacca and Han Solo for the Rebels is one of my favourites. Because it's Han and Chewie. They're expensive and cost half your army in Imperial Assault, but they're so fun. But like I say, I think why I dislike Fantasy Flight Games' approach or marketing approach is because they expect you to have only their things as an investment. If you only buy their board games, then you've got the investment, and that's fair enough. But if you play anything else, then get ready to to put your other games aside just for Fantasy Flight. Oh, like, yes. Honestly, you know what I would love to see? The solo Boba Fett film directed by Quentin Tarantino. I would love to see that dialogue. You can just imagine, like, I'm sorry, I think Quentin Tarantino would have a whale of a time doing a Boba Fett film where he can get in all the more individualistic, yeah, exactly, all the individualistic characters about the scum and villainy. Like, say, like, Boba Fett's just taken down some, has to take down or show like the more villainous side of the rebels, basically hiring Boba Fett out to take out some Imperial commanders or something like that. You know what I mean? Something like that, where where I think Quentin Tarantino can show the shades of grey within the factions of the rebels and the Empire in Star Wars. That would be fantastic. But that's me being a fan. That's me having fangasms because I would love to see that. Because I think Quentin Tarantino would have the time of his life if he did that. Honestly, I think he would. And I think he could pull it off as well. Yeah. But like I say, so yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I'm just layering on because I'm trying to be very careful with these guns. Oh, hello. Best film. Director quote. Yeah, has to be Todd McFarlane. So I couldn't draw, and I did that. So filmmaking, we'll just have to see. Yes. Todd McFarlane, like, I have to give him respect. He sticks to his guns on creative control. He wants that creative control over his characters and doesn't want to let execs trounce all over his creation. So I do give him respect for that. Definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Spawn film. I know there's a Spawn miniature that you can get, like in 35mm scale to these. I will need to ask on the Deadpool Facebook page, ask where I can get it, because you can get it and it's not like a commission service. You can like buy it on stock. It's an unofficial mini, obviously, but it is really, really nice. It is like, it isn't like done cheapishly or doesn't look cartoony like old. Yeah, there is actually, because I've got my computer on because that's how I'm streaming. I'll go to the Deadpool now and I will quickly post up. Not Hell's Kitchen. We won't go to that. Not yet. The Deadpool. Gonna post up a status. I can get a Spawn mini and question mark. There we go. And that has posted. So yes, I will let you know because it is a beautiful mini as well. I'm not joking. It's not like something like early Games Workshop designs where it's a bit cartoony and very 80s and 90s. It is properly done like modern day model standards as well. Like these minis, you know. It is properly done. So yeah, I will definitely let you know if I get it up. Like I say, I posted up in the Deadpool now, so there we go. But yeah, I will if somebody responds, then I will put a link up in the chat. Obviously, no problem at all. Thanks for keeping us company. So yeah, like I say, it will it honestly. I've been thinking about making custom rules for Batman as well for it because I know a load of people like Spawn, and I would I would love to see a Violator mini. If that same website has a Violator mini, I would be so happy. Like, not the clown thing, the actual demon Violator thingy. If that had, then I would be buying up. I would be buying up. Oh, yeah, I would be buying up. Oh, yes. Right, okay. Ugh. Just be solid. Thin coats. Thin coats. Right, okay, so we're going to get there. We're going to get there. Oh, dear. Right, so we're just getting the thin coats on at the moment. It's going to get there. We are getting there, because the one thing I want to do, at least tonight, is get the thing washed. Get all the basic colours done, then get it washed. Once it's gotten washed, that's when I'll decide whether I want to continue painting the mini or not. But once it's washed, it'll be washed, ready for the next session. And hopefully it'll get finished in the next session, because I thought it would get finished today, but I've just been talking for so long. Really have been. Okay, so let's see. Uh, I think that's the golden. That's the oh. You know what? I kind of wish I left the guns off on this thing, because my word, if I did, then gluing them was easy anyway. I just got really excited and impatient because I was like, "Oh look, Wonderland! Oh look, Tin Man, Tin Man! How am I going to get the funnel on?" And because now I'm having to look through the shoulder pads, and I feel like I'm getting gold on the shoulder pads, and I have to repaint the shoulder pads, and you know what I mean. But we're getting them done. I think he's ready in. Ooh, is he ready enough? Oh, geez, Rick. Yep, I think he's ready. We just got to do a bit more on the little creases over here. Yeah, I like this. I like this model. This model's very nice. It's nice to paint, but I kind of made a fault and glued the guns on far too early. Because now I'm paying the price, and the price is my tolerance on the mini. Yeah. Okay. So. Yeah. Okay. So, got all that done. I'm trying to think. Right. Okay. So we've got all that done. We've got the little lights done. Okay. So I think we need to start the yellow. This is where I get very sweary. If there's one thing I absolutely detest in painting, it's painting yellow, because the yellows are so thin. They may as well just be a wash. Oh. It's the one thing that I have never had. Wish I was an American. No. What was it? Ah! Got the song. Oh, that sounds wrong. That sounds very wrong, especially when I'm given a good shake like that. Oh boy, when everything's off camera and you're hearing that sound. Yeah, that's me shaking the paint. Because I'm giving it a very good shake so it can be very, very thick. See? Just giving it a good shake. Oh dear. Even like the tops are unscrewed. Come on. We can do this, right. And that's me making sure that the yellow is so thick. Oh, thank you. That looks very thick. That looks like a very thick yellow. Because it's always Russian roulette when it comes to yellows. Okay, we'll have to take off the excess so that I don't get it everywhere. Oh, that's beautiful. I say that's beautiful. For a starting layer, that's okay. I've shook that yellow well and truly good. I got that yellow. And we just put in there, and then we just put a little bit in here. Yep, for a starting yellow, that's okay. Right, okay, so yellow. On another note, I do want to start painting my Heatwave Mini because I'm wanting to do Captain Cold and Heatwave a lot more just for a bit of fun outside of Freeze for a gang. Because I think, like, I've got currently the CW Reverse Flash. Obviously, you can't really see it. Obviously, you can't really see it that well, but he's yellow and I need to wash him in brown. I sprayed him yellow with a yellow spray because I just would not have the patience to paint it that yellow. Yep, that yellow is going fine. Yes. Now just go wait for it to dry because it takes a while to dry. But yeah. What else could I be doing? Not sure really. I could start building up the silvers because the silvers have already been washed. Do I have my lead belcher anywhere? That lead belcher? That is lead belcher. We'll do a little bit of silver. Why not? We'll do a little bit of silver. See if we can get that. Oh dear. Ooh, that's turned thick. Okay. Any others? There is Ashen Grey, which isn't exactly what I wanted. That's a grey. No, that's a grey. That's a grey. That's platter silver. Not what I wanted. Definitely not what I wanted. That's nothing against the paint. There's some silver. There's some bulk gun metal basically. That'll work. I'll do. It's on its last dying breath, so I've got to use it as much as I can to get the full use of the paint. Yeah. I got 25 minutes, I suppose. I can hear you. Yep, I can hear you. You can come out. You can definitely come out. There we go. Beautiful. Thank you. Once I get some money in, I'm definitely getting some more of the yellows of game colour range, because that's lasted us for like at least 3-4 years. 3-4 years for a single what, £1.90 paint. That's not bad. It's just like bulk and metal from days old, so I may as well just go all out on it. Yeah, I'm just kind of building up a little bit, just to give it a little bit more depth on the arms and stuff. Right, okay. Need to wash that because that was spreading out again. Don't like it when they do that, because that usually represents the death of a paintbrush, which I cannot afford to have right now. There we go, there we go. Oh dear, yeah. The Batman. Come on. You can do this. You can do this. Come on. On you go. This just gives it a little bit more depth, really. Just need to paint over because there's bits of turquoise on the silver. So we're going to have to just do a little bit of highlighting, I suppose. I say a little bit of highlighting there, just blunder it all up. That's classy, me being classy. Ooh, we're going to have to sharpen you up. This face right here. This face right here. This face, this face, this face. The Batman. Insert the hands. Hammer. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Now I can highlight. Oh, actually, I will want to use Ashen Grey for the pipes on his things, his stuff and things. That's something we can start doing after I've built up silver, because I've got it out. I don't want it to dry up just yet, so may as well just get all this done first, out the way with. See if anyone's talked on the chat. Nope. Okay. Then bang, you print. Yeah. Oh dear. So yeah. Oh dear. I don't know. Just just these layers. just these layers. They're starting to get to us. Oh, these damn layers. Trying to think what else I could do. Could always just do a little bit of highlighting. Round and round, round and round. Dear. Right, okay. Doesn't really need anymore. It's just the fists needed a bit of touching up, and that was it, really. I've done the front part, the hips. Everything looks alright. So, I think we can safely say we've done that. So, we'll go to the Ashen Grey now as well. Dear. Oh, please. No, please don't say you've dried up because you've been next to a window all day. Well, all day, I mean, for a couple of days all day kind of thing. You're not dried up, you're just very low on the pin, I suppose. Which is interesting. So in fact I don't use it that often. But okay, we'll go with that. That assumption is flawed. That is mere hyperbole. Yep, we've done that. Right. Alright, okay. Anything else? Ooh, should I? Yeah, that's more like oh boy, what happened there? Okay, right, okay. So we've got a long way to go for the silver. On another note, but yeah, we'll do this in latex. That is really more latex than steel. Yeah, okay. So we've got a bit more to do on that. Oh boy, the fun never ends, does it? Doesn't it? Fun never ends on base coating. Ah dear. So, just getting stuff ready. Ah, fumble jumbles. It's because the Brussels are all split again. Different brush. Yeah, hang on. Yeah, I've been using the wrong brush, haven't I? All this time I've been using the one with the least control. Like, what is this? Is this fantasy? What is this real life? Or is this fantasy? Caught in a landslide. Is this meant to be? Okay, so yeah. Okay, so we'll just get these done. Yeah, I'm just painting all the wires latexy because I know how to do like proper military grade tube and wires. Because I had a few like proper model painters teach us these techniques up when I was at the Washington Model Club years back. It's a good club, very good. You've got people who do like proper like 70mm Judge Dredd busts and all that, doing like proper shading with airbrushes and everything. It's and like the stuff gets shown in natural like model magazines and stuff like that. It's really really good place to get paint advice from, very much so. They know the stuff. Like if you go there and you literally take everything that they say and do it on your wargame minis, then you're probably gonna get best painted army every time. No word of a lie, because their stuff is fantastic. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. Da, 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 da. Um, right. There was a massive green splodge right here. I'm going to repair and fix right now by just doing that. Right. Okay. Right. Can I get that grey again? Because this time we have a little bit of latex right here to do. So much more control than before. So happy. There we go. That's a nice bit of fun latex there to wash over with the rest of the model. I think that yellow can just be alright like that. I just need to paint over it with green. I think that's all it is. Right, so I have to go back to the green. Oh, the fun with green. I love green. Absolutely adore green by now. Oh, at least it's a healthy looking green. It's not like a dark green which requires so many layers like a yellow. But still. Do 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 do. Come on. Yeah. Oh, sugar, honey, iced tea, and it's, oh, yeah. Oh, that one's gonna be fun. And it's leaked out, sort of outside the pot, because thing. Decided, oh, I want to. Right. Gonna have to play a rescue job now. Getting all that paint from there back into the pot. So that doesn't stick and we don't get any solid looking bits. Yeah. To do this bit now. That's too thin. Too thin. What does that do? Is that right? Okay, sure. I'm gonna check because I just got notifications. Right, got 5 notifications. Okay. 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 Yeah. 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 Yep. Yep. Awesome. Awesome, dude. Just say Poxwalkers, man. Awesome stuff. Awesome. Awesome, dude. Just. Yeah. Fairs. Okay. Hey, so 41 views apparently. Not views. I'm gonna need to do a bit more green around the lights. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so. Right, do a bit of green around this. Hey, it's getting done, guys. It's getting done. I've probably got 5 more minutes. I think I'm gonna do this in 5 minutes. Get to where I want it to be with the washers and stuff. Don't think I'll be doing any streaming tomorrow, unfortunately, only because I'm going to a Halloween party. Because I'm going to a Halloween party, that means I have to apparently. Well, I'm with a friend's coming over. A little bit of pre-drink before going. Always gets you in high spirits. Oh dear. I'm not dreading it. I'm not dreading going to a Halloween party. It's set up by uni. It's just meant to be a bit of fun, you know. Just a bit of fun. I've got my Mad Hatter not cosplay. I've got Mad Hatter costume, sorry, and that's going to be fun. I'm going to enjoy having that. Oh, hello, new viewer. How is things, the new viewer? Yeah, currently I'm just painting up this Lexcorp Heavy Trooper by Knights Models, and this is basically because of the way the rules are worded in the Batman Miniatures game, especially in the new edition. You can have Lexcorp Troopers with the Wonderland gang. So I decided to convert this guy up into the Tin Man. Let's put that out of the way. The little funnel on his head. Once I've put it on, I'm not gluing it in place at the moment, but that's what it's going to roughly look like. So he's going to be the Tin Man from the Wizard of Oz to fit in with the whole fairy tale theme of the Wonderland gang. Looks like he has a massive dick on his head, but that's kind of the fallacy of Freud from the Wizard of Oz anyway, from the Tin Man anyway. So how is it with the new viewer? How has your evening been? Or at least it's evening, morning now in the UK, because it's 1:57 a.m. in the UK right here. So yeah, we are currently, what we're trying to do right now is paint all the basic colours on and then give it a wash. Once we've given it a wash, that's when I'm going to call it, only because it'll be halfway there, and then I'll spend another stream just finishing this guy, and he'll look fantabidostic. He'll look fantastic, and I think that'll be nice. Seeing it on bigger screen's quite nice as well, have to admit. So yeah, how is everything with the new viewer? The Batman. As you can see, nice bit of mug of tea there, which I've already drunk. Have my tea here as well. I need to do the base as well. The base is going to be a fun one because I've used green stuff to sculpt it into a very melting Wonderland chess piece thing, which will be very fun to see. What else am I doing? Right, I think it's time we do the green on the cross section of his chest. Na 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 na. Alright. That's nice. Okay. Okay, so yeah, okay. So we've done all that. We've managed to get the green on quite nicely. I think it's now time to apply the washes. So we shall do that. Okay, so to get the washes on, what wash shall we start off with? Well, I think we'll start off with the most obvious one, and that's the green. The green wash. Now, I do have washes around. Thraka green wash, old Citadel paint, very nice. Let's start washing. This is just to tone down the green, basically. Give it a bit more depth than just the big blue Boy Scout kind of one-dimensional look that you get sometimes when you just do one coat of, well, so not one coat, but one base color. Yeah. Okay. So we will start painting. Well, we won't stop it. We are painting. What am I talking about? What are we doing? What is this? What is this, Stephen? Stephen Jefferson? Stephen Jefferson? That's a name. That's one. That's a name. Stephen Jefferson. The Jeffersons of Stephen. Yeah, you can tell I'm tired. It's getting to that time, ladies and gents. We are just going to do this. Be very, very careful of using a wash on yellows, green wash on yellows, and it's ruined yellow. Not a problem. Just get a few more coats of yellow on it. Should be fine. I don't really bother washing down the yellows because it's meant to be a light for a light source, so I don't see a point in toning it down at all. Like if I was using an airbrush, maybe, but I don't have an airbrush, so there we go. Fair enough. See you later, dude. See you later, dude. I'll see you later. Thanks for the company. I appreciate all the company that you spent with us. Right now, I'm just painting up this Lexcorp Heavy Trooper. Oh dear. Good night, sir. Good night. Ah dear. Right, so well, the first wash on. That's nice. Yeah, we're gonna have to go over the yellow on a bit, but we can do that later because right now I could not be bothered. So I've done the first wash. The black's been applied. Oh boy, it's done a leakage. It's done a leaker. Guys, it's done a leaker, and we'll just yeah, just got to pull it right. We've done that. Black wash for the latex, or the more bendable bits, you could say. Right. Okay. Is this it? Yep, that is the answer to my prayers. Null and oil wash, apparently. You probably couldn't even hear that properly. Answer to all my prayers. Well, not all my prayers, but there we go. I'm saying mere hyperbole. It would be interesting to see how this hypothesis would work. Look at me turn all into Mr. Freeze from Injustice 2. My eye. Very nice. Just trying to be careful not to get it to pool in any certain direction. I think I should have painted that bit latex, but oh well. We'll see how it comes out. See if I like it. If I don't, I will. And if I do, I won't. I won't. So, I've done all that. Now it's time for the... Alright, okay. The thing about having a black wash is that it doesn't bother you on the mouth too much because the whole metal plating bits of it has already been washed in black, so it doesn't really make too much of a big difference. Okay, so I have to do a little bit more metal on that area because there you can see a tiny bit of green. The Batman. There we go. So we've done those. Now we need to do the biggest one. Well, the biggest one that's going to be for... That's probably going to take the longest of times, which is going to be the brown wash. And I love the sepia wash, sorry. And this paint is magic. This is magic on a plate that goes with this colour so well because it makes it look so crisp. Like, honestly, if you have any bronze colour looking like that, and yeah, it does look like a solidified sausage, so you do have to wash it down, thin it down, because I think that was of poor care on my part. Comes off a bit lumpy, so you do need to add some water. But like every wash, it needs to be water. Well, just like every wash, it needs a ton of water. So, oh, that's beautiful. That's actually beautiful. So we are going to apply it now. I think it's looking very nice. Oh boy. Now, I usually let it pool in the darkest of, well, not in the darkest, but like in the most crevice of places. Because then you can really give it some real good depth. Real good depth. Yeah, that is an actual perfect... Right, okay, so now we've done those guns, we're going to do these rocks. And that's beautiful. That's actually art. I know that was a bit extreme, but oh boy, that colour with this wash, that's delicious. Oh yeah. That's delicious. That is actually delicious. That is like delicious personified. That has given... No, that has given it depth. That has given it the depth I wanted. That is beautiful. Reason why I went with more of a pale looking rock rather than just grey dirty rock is because I wanted to give it a little bit of contrast, just to give it something more to look at for the mini, because obviously you'll be paying too much attention to the top of it, so I'm needing to give an even balance of it, or an even balance of the miniature to both the top and the bottom. So I thought a paler rock would look good, and obviously then I've got the chessboard, the melted away Wonderland looking hallucinogenic chessboard for a base, made out of green stuff amateurly because I'm not the best with green stuff. But yeah, so apply the washes. I don't really know anything else really. I think we're done really. We can build on it tomorrow, I suppose. Now it's just highlighting, really. Highlighting, and that's it. Just highlighting and getting it done. Yeah. The base is, I'm gonna have to do that very last because I know how I'm gonna do the base, because obviously I've got to do it in a strict checker marked fashion because it's a chessboard. You know what I mean? Now obviously I could just play it different with how would you call it, with it being Wonderland and claim abstract license and all that, but I'd rather not. I'd rather just have something that people can easily identify as a chessboard and not like Google or Eyes or Oogle or Eyes, sorry, over at like a bit of white on the actual board when there's much more to look at, I think. So yeah, I'm going to enjoy this mini getting finished. There's only one thing I want to do, and that is, where is it? Because I just put the funnel away, didn't I? Put it on top. Yeah, there we go. Did I wash this? Yes, I did wash this. So, please don't tell me this paint is dried. No, it hasn't. Beautiful. And that's just to base coat the bottom of this. Just because it's still showing it's green, and it's like, nope, I don't want that. I just want a bit of silver on the bottom. Which I'll then wash over with a bit of black. So, alright, okay. Yeah, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, okay, so I've done all that. That's nice. That is nice and sorted. So you leave that to dry, and that's all I can really say. I just painted there. There. Yep, I've just licked the brush whilst I still have wet paint on. Yeah. Oh boy, that's beautiful. Okay, so I believe that's me done for the night. I said I'll get the washes done. I have. I want to say thank you for everyone who's put up with us and continue to watch the stream. I hope to do another one on the Lexcorp Heavy Trooper where we'll actually get the mini done and we'll have it fully assembled with the funnel on the head. I hope to get that done, and I hope to see you all again. Now, I do have a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is exactly how the icon says. It's called The Warp Forge. I know the username on Twitch is different, but that's because apparently someone's already taken that name. So I decided to call it The Warping Forge on Twitch. But we have The Warp Forge on YouTube, so please check it out. The Warp Forge, same icon. We have a Facebook page called The Warp Forge, and again, that's on icon. That is on Facebook as well. So if you want to check that out, give it a like, please do. That's really it. Just if you want to see more updates or more live streams like this, then please click the follow button on Twitch. And I will be exporting everything we do on here over on YouTube as well, so that everyone else can also enjoy a good bit of I would say Twitch enjoyment and see these like 3 hours worth of painting. So I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for watching very much so for my first ever live stream. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've thoroughly enjoyed having a good natter on with friends and stuff. And I've fully enjoyed having a good conversation with everyone. I know the layout hasn't been the best, but this is something that's trial and error, and we will work to improve on that, and we will work to improve on the lighting as well. Because as you can see, it's a bit, how'd you say? Oh, hello, we're going to trip up all these paints, apparently. As you can see, yeah, okay, but if we put it there, right, I'm just playing around with lighting now. Yeah, we can see the Lexcorp a little bit better. But yeah, like I say, it's almost done now. Hoping to get it done in the next stream. I don't know when the next stream will be. Probably sometime early next week. So yeah, I want to say thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please follow all the other links I've just said. YouTube and Facebook, both called The Warp Forge. Please give them a check, a like, and a subscribe, as well as a follow over here on Twitch. Thank you for watching. This is The Warp Forge, signing out, and remember,
keep on forging.